Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials on any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Architecture, same topic, but summary. This is summary. Okay. So guys, here I need your help actually. Let's be a little bit interactive. It's morning time, so we have lots of energy, both of us, all of us. So by now I know master, I know worker also, and then I know workstation. Okay, workstation. So guys, can you help me to remind me what are the components we discuss in the master? Tell me.
API server,
Manager, server.
Scheduler,
One by one.
Scheduler,
API server after that.
cluster store, controller
Cluster store. Can I call from now onwards etcd directly? And then controller, manager. Remember, it's a manager, okay? And then last one is
scheduler,
scheduler. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Now, guys, can you tell me in the worker what are the components we learn?
kubelet,
Kubelet
container engine,
and Docker, and then
proxy,
proxy.
kubeproxy,
Right. In the workstation, would you like to tell me what component we have?
kubectl,
kubectl. Wonderful. Great, guys. Now, guys, you know what? Kubernetes has given a lecture. Basically, they have enforced all of us to run the container in the pod. So they run their application. Container is nothing but your application, right? So run their application in the pod. They have enforced us. We have no control. We cannot do anything else. We have to run in the pod. So if they ask us to run their applications in the pod, so guys, API server is one application. etcd is one application. Controller manager and scheduler is also application only. So if things in simple way, if these are applications, so why can't they also run in the pod? Why they are only enforcing us to run our application in the pod? Because they are also having application only. These are some sort of applications only. So actually, guys, yes, they are running in the pod only. Yes, they are running in the pod only. Now, one thing I am unable to recall. Okay, so this is pod. This is pod become this is pod. This is pod. Now, guys, who instantiate a pod? I forgot actually. Who instantiate a pod?
kubelet,
Kubelet. So guys, it's a master node. Okay, look at this here. Kubelet in the worker node. So guys, here, if these applications are in a form of pod, then I think so kubelet has to be here also. Don't you think so? in the master? Correct?
Logically,
Logically, it should be yes. Now, guys, pod has what? We all know very well. Pod has a container. Now, who's creating container? Tell me, guys.
Docker.
Docker creates
Don't-
the container.
yeah.
Yeah.
So don't you think so that Docker should be here also? And now, guys, pod get IP addresses. So who allocate the IP address, routing, proxy, this, that, and all?
Kubeproxy.
Kubeproxy. So don't you think these three component should be there in the master also? So guys, yes, this application is pod. Pod come from the container. Pod has a container. Container comes from the image, and this image, you know, from where it is coming from? Google registry. Yes. Last time I taught you this one. What do you say? Docker Hub. But
Docker.
these images is coming from the Google registry. Okay, this is hosted at the Google registry. So now I understood. Okay, fine. In the master, in the real time, we will have a these component also. So guys, kubelet instantiate a pod. So it is a tool. It is a tool at node. Same time, Docker need to be tool at node. Why? Because Docker need to talk to the kernel and create a container. So it cannot be in the pod. So it is also a tool in the node. But you know what, guys? The kube proxy is nothing but a proxy. So on some applications to create a proxy, IP table, routing table, and all stuff like that. Okay. So this is not contributing anything at the node level. So this is also a pod. This has to be at the node level, but this is a pod because this is application. So in short, in the master, you will have these many pods created by kubelet, filled by Docker, IP address managed by kubeproxy, where the kubeproxy itself is a pod. And in the worker, you have kubelet, Docker, kubeproxy. So this is the architecture. So guys, when it's a pod, all they talk to each other. How do they talk to each other? Tell me. How do they talk to each other? Remember the master combination. See, everyone talks to API server. etcd talk to API server. Controller manager talk to API server. Scheduler talk to API server. Kubelet talk to API server. kubeproxy talk to API server. It's API server based out on HTTP. So everyone is talking to API server. So guys, who can help? Who can help to send the request to API server? Tell me. Who can help? Tell me which component can help us to send a request to API server?
kubectl and the
Kubelet
kubectl. Yes, perfect answer.
workstation.
Yeah. So guys, don't you think? See here, we are a human being. We talk from the workstation to API server. How? kubectl. But guys, internally also there's so much of communications happen to API server. Here kubeproxy talk to API server. Kubelet also talk to API server. Here all these components talk to API server internally. Internal communication. So guys, don't you think so? Simple logic. Are you getting my points? All of you? Guys?
Yep.
So guys, this is your complete architecture. Yeah, something I missed out during the slides, because so much of things in a so span less of time without practice is very difficult to explain in a simple way, but this is the right architecture. So guys, whenever you go and set up a master node of the cluster, these three tools you need to install before that. And whenever you set up a worker, these three tools you have to install it. Understood that, all of you? Guys, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Now guys, next question is, guys, think simple way. Okay, I'm not writing it, I'm just stating it. Okay. If I want to set up a master, hear me out very clearly. If I want to set up a master, then first thing what you have to do, install these tools. Okay, fine. Step number one, done. Then second step, what you have to do, download all these images, pull all these images from the Google registry. Third step, what you have to do, instantiate a pod. Fourth step, what you have to do, fill the container inside a pod. Fifth, what you have to do, this master will become a CA authority, certificate authority. And each one of these will be having certificate authorized. Remember the simple concept. Anyone wants to talk to API server, not only kubelet, anyone, etcd also talk to API server, controller wants to talk to API server, scheduler also want to talk to API server, kubelet also, kubeproxy also, all these things wants to talk to API server, or you wants to talk to API server. There has to be authenticated request. So internally, how can you have authentications? So one of the preferred one is certificate based authentication, or second one is a token based authentication, both certificate and token. So some of the places, step 6 or 7, you have to set up a certificate, authorize the certificates, create a CSR, create a cert, then authorize it, all these things. I hope you know that what I'm talking about. When you have a certificate based authority and all, you have to do. And then finally you have to run all this pod, and if all this component is ready, then your master is ready. So are you able to understand this? So much of work is involved. So much of work is involved. Are you able to understand? So guys, so much of work is it. Probably you might not remember what I did talking in the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is the reason, if you can't remember and you should not get lost, that is the reason we have one magical command, guys, tool, magical tool. This is called kubeadm. Yes. Now, if you get lost in the steps, no problem. kubeadm remember all these steps. kubeadm is one tool to manage the Kubernetes, to administrate the Kubernetes. So guys, if you want to set up a master, mind it here, if you want to set up a master node having all this pod, configure all this pod to work efficiently, and proxy also, then command tool is kubeadm and the command is kubeadm init. I'm not writing the full command, I'm just giving you the idea. Init means initialize the master. Simple. This guy remember all this command. You don't have to remember everything. This guy will remember. So that means, let me tell you, if you install all these tools in any node and then you run this command, oh sorry, all these 4 tools in any node and run this command, that node will become a master. Are you getting clarity here? I repeat, if you install these 4 tools in any node and you run this command, that node, machine, VM, physical machines will become a master node of the Kubernetes. Are you understanding now? Guys, are you there with me? Hello?
Yeah,
Yes,
Rajesh.
Yeah. Guys, please focus on this because it's the most important session. Trust me, I've spent a lot of weeks and maybe months to understand small things actually, what I'm explaining it to you. So you can save lots of time if you focus on it. But I said very clearly, let me recall the same statement. If you miss one topic, trust me, then you miss entire Kubernetes. You will not understand. I can give you assurance for it. So please come back to this session and focus on it. So here, so KubeADM is the tool which can set up a cluster, master cluster. Guys, same tool is there in the worker setup also. But this KubeADM, we can set up a worker also. Worker means kubeproxy, and register this node with the master. But how? Join command. So see here, this will create a master, this will create a worker and attach to the worker, and then workstation. So these are the things which we have right now. All of you, did you understand this? All of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
yes.
Yes.
Great. So guys, this is the real architecture. This is the last one. I'm not going to add any more surprises. Please hard code this stuff. In the master, we'll have this pod, these tools, this pod, these tools in the worker, this pod in the worker. But guys, can I add one more thing here? Okay. Do you remember in the Docker networking, we had a driver? Which are the drivers we had? Do you
Bridge,
remember any?
host,
Bridge, host,
bridge,
none.
host,
None. One. Great. So guys, you know what? For the pod networking, there are many kubeproxy is basically proxy, but this kubeproxy works with network driver. Network driver. Now, what is a network driver? You understand little bit of it, if not more, based on the prior discussion. But in Kubernetes, you know what we call it? Network policy. So network policy is basically nothing but a rules, actually, some code, some policies, which helps kubeproxy to allocate the IP address, some sort of ranges, some sort of routing rules, and many things they are doing. This proxy, this driver itself is a guys, it's like a huge product actually. So many products, 13, 15 products, I guess, so far. Each product itself is a course in itself. So that's the thing. So right now in this today's sessions, I'm going to use overlay network driver, which is ViewNet, for the easiest thing. But you will have many different drivers that can be decided with the help of the network architecture. So this also, you will have a pod. Okay, this pod also will have it. So in a short, How many pod you will have in master? This 4 plus 1, 5 and 6. Guys, this can be changed with a VNet, Calico, Flannel. Many drivers are there in the world of Kubernetes. And here in the worker, how many pod will be there? Kuproxy and VNet pod. So I think I can add more things, but don't want to add more because you'll get lost here. So guys, this is the master component. This is the worker component and this is the workstation. So this is the summary of Kubernetes architecture. I hope it should be clear by now. Right? All of you?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay. So if you have understood, guys, then who can stop us to set up a cluster? Simple. Who can stop us? Think simple, do simple. What we need? I need one machine for master. For time being, one machine for worker. Two machine. Inside a master, what do you need? I need these 4 tools. In the worker, what you need? I need these 4 tools. After getting these tools, I need to run in the master init. It will set up a master and then kubadm join. It will set up a worker. Wonderful, done. Work is done. Did you understand the flow? First, and then I'll show you the demo. Demo is just a 5 minutes, guys. If you understand well, demo is nothing. Did you understand that, guys?
Yeah.
So guys, question is how to set up K8s cluster. You know one thing, guys, I would like to tell you here. Now, few things please understand is very important for you. Do you want to set up a cluster for development or production? Let's say if you want to set up a development, then you can use Minikube. Now guys, you must be wondering, okay, what is a Minikube? If I'm doing a development and if you're learning development and learning, okay, then Minikube. What is a Minikube? So guys, Minikube is one exe. Yeah, Minikube is one exe, and when you start this utility command line, what exactly it will do? It will pull one image. One image. Which image? VM's image. Yes. And then run that image with VirtualBox. Mind it here, VirtualBox. Hyper-V also supported. Simple. Whenever you run this command, then it will pull one VM image from the cloud, run that image with the VirtualBox, and in that image, it would set up one node cluster, Kubernetes cluster. One node Kubernetes cluster means one node who will work like a master and worker. Again, let me tell you here, just if you remember only these component, don't you think the master can work like a worker also? Look at this. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Rajesh.
So this is the Minikube. But you know what? When you go to the production, then you get lost. Even I'm lost so far. So far, I could not cover all possible solutions which is supported by Kubernetes because 40 plus different method to set up a cluster at the different platform. Do you want to manually administrate the cluster? Okay. If you want to manually administrate the cluster, or you want to outsource administration, Okay, what do you want? If you want to outsource, then we have multiple solution, guys. Cluster, I am saying cluster. Okay, cluster. Okay, mind it here. So if you want to outsource in the AWS, we have a service called EKS. This EKS will manage your cluster. You just focus on the deployment packages. That's all, nothing else. In AWS, Azure, we have AKS. AKS. And in Google Cloud, we have GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. So what they have done, they will set up a cluster for you. They will back up your cluster on your behalf. They will administrate in one go. What do you need to do? Use it. That's all. They will set up as many master nodes you wanted, as many worker nodes you wanted with the one click. If you really want to outsource. So many people is doing that, many organizations. But if you manually administrate your Kubernetes cluster, then you have to set up your own. But the question is how to set up. So you can use Kubedium manual way, which I'm using right now. Everyone is using Kubedium only, by the way. These all are tools also. Platform also uses the Kubedium internally, but you can use Kubedium manual way also. The one which I'm showing you, this is a part of session. But guys, if you want to use COPS, you can use COPS manual way with integration with cloud. Okay, cloud. So if you want the integration cloud, when I say integration with the cloud services, that means let's say you want Kubernetes, you want to store the Kubernetes cluster, but you want to use the storage of AWS. You want to use the storage DNS services of the AWS. You want to the load balancer of AWS. Those are the services. Security of the AWS. Those that way you can use the COPS. Okay. So as part of these sessions, I am going to talk about manual way. As part of this session, I'm going to talk about the manual way. This is the part of the session. Okay, so guys, next topic is how to set up a cluster after understanding this one. Let me tell you guys here, there are more than 40 methods are there. So if you want to really know what is the method available, so Kubernetes, just check it the official documents only. Why? Because this so changes, personal blog is not up to date all the time. So don't refer any personal blogs in this case, in this technology, because this will be waste of your time. Okay, so here you see creating a cluster. See here, using a Minikube to create a cluster or interactive tutorial. This, see again they change the what do you say, pages. Earlier it was on the home page only. Now I have to search for it. So see here, set up a Kubernetes cluster. So set up a cluster. See, install the Kubedium setup tool, learning environment and production environment. These are the two environment you have. So learning environment, Minikube, I told you very clearly. Minikube is one exe. You run this command, it will happen this one, and one VM's cluster you get it. But there are many software also for the learning environment. So here you see, kind has come. I have not used it. Minikube I have used it. Kubedium, the now one which I have taught, I'll teach you. Not learning for the production also. Now for the production, here you see, you want to turnkey cloud solution Windows in Kubernetes. That means the node can be in Kubernetes. So
to watch our complete session, enroll for our premium membership. Click onto the join button and enroll yourself with the best suited option.
Let's go for the turnkey cloud solution. And here See, this page is redirecting. See here. My God, they have updated and so much of support they have added again. You see here, I was wrong, 40 more than that now. So see here. So all this AWS supports here, my Azure supports here, and Google Cloud must be somewhere downside. I've never heard about these cloud providers actually, but they support, you know. Are you getting guys all this idea? Here is a GK. Guys, are you getting this idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's go to some other method. Get comfortable, because this is you should not access any personal notes. This will be your disaster decision, because it's so much of information get changed. We get lost actually. And now here you see installing Kubernetes with the deployment tools. Tools, this means COPS and all. I was talking, right? Kubedium, I'm going to show you this right now. So you can set up a production environment also with the Kubedium, the one which I'll show you. You can use the COPS also. COPS, when to use it? When you want to integrate the cloud services. Okay, so COPS supports different services for like a Google Cloud, VMware, and AWS they support, right? So all this thing. And there's a Cube Spray. I have not used Cube Spray. I've used the COPS. I know that very well. And Kubedium. Okay, so these are the deployment tools are there which you can set up the cluster for the production. Okay, one of these I'll use. And in Windows in Kubernetes. So right now what I know, okay, here intro of Windows support in Kubernetes. So what I know, server cannot be Windows, but the node can be Windows, which I have discussed. I think I have discussed already. So here intro of Windows support in Kubernetes and guide of scheduling Windows container in Kubernetes. All these things you can read it, but again same thing will be written in a detailed way. So you have to understand this. Okay, so these are the operating system which supports right now 2019 onwards only. So okay, so all the details are here. Okay, great. So guys, now I will not hold any more further discussions. Now I will directly jump to how to set up a cluster. The topic is very simple: how to set up a cluster using Kubernetes in production. Okay, that's a question. Okay, so guys, any questions, any doubts so far? Anyone have?
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.